I get my material from my real life. It's just like taking my life and putting it, you know, somewhat as realistic fiction on stage.
Since 26-year-old Matty Goldberg could remember, he has always been a comic. He grew up between his older and younger sisters and a family devoted to the arts. A happy kid growing up, Matty often felt awkward and out of place in his family.
And high school was a little tough because everybody's like, you know, why aren't you like your sisters? Because they were very good students, they were popular, and I was like the weirdo. And everybody's like, well, what happened to you?
For Matty, the pressures and people in high school were everyone he wanted to escape from. While some dreaded the end of high school, Matty used the experience of it to begin following his dream.
I was kind of like, you know, really lost, and I kind of did my own thing, and a lot of people didn't really understand me because I was always different, and high school is really about conforming. And nobody really understood, like, why does this kid not want to conform? Why does he want to be different? I mean, I think a lot of people peak in high school, and then they just kind of fade out after that. And where I think I'm going to be the opposite, where I was a ghost in high school, and my life now is like the time for me to really excel and do something special.
Today, Matty is taking the lessons he learned as a teenager and incorporating them into his life as a comedian.
I think comedy was a form for me to, it was a way for me to connect with the rest of the world. That's what it was. It was a way for me to say, okay, this is who I am. You're not like me, but you'll accept me. It was like an acceptance of, you know, this is who I am, and you don't have to be like me, but you can understand my struggle and my pain.
Two things Matty unfortunately knows far too much about. It happened 6 years ago and changed his life forever. He lost feeling in his hand and knew something was terribly wrong.
At first I thought it was frostbite. Went to a few doctors. They made me get an MRI because they thought I was a little weird, and they discovered a pretty large brain tumor in my brainstem and said I had to be operated right away.
A week later, Matty was on the operating table, having brain surgery.
It was very life-threatening. It's probably the toughest thing I had to deal with in my life. And, you know, facing death and also recovering. When I got out of surgery, I couldn't walk. I had to relearn how to walk, to use my body. I was dizzy like every day. I mean, just feeling good for 5 minutes was an accomplishment to me.
Like he did with high school, Matty used this setback as a fresh step forward in his career. He began writing more jokes and seeking out anyone who'd give him a chance to perform on stage.
It's very competitive. You have to pay your dues. Nobody really wants you to make it real fast. And you really have to network yourself. And there's a lot more than being funny on stage. You have to really bring yourself out and run around and hustle, and you have to really want it.
And that's just what Matty did. From answering phones, bussing tables, and handing out flyers on the street, Matty certainly paid his dues and was finally rewarded with the always remembered and very sentimental debut.
May 31st, 2001, end of the show, about 10 people. I had no idea if anything I said was going to be funny or was going to work. And somehow I got some laughs, and I was hooked. It was like there was a certain rush that I never felt before. This is about the first time I ever slept away from home. Okay. Yes. April 28th, 2004. Sarah invited me to spend the evening at her apartment. It's the first time I ever slept away from home. I packed an assortment of snack pack cereals for breakfast. I also brought my pajamas. I need to sleep in my giraffe pajamas. Sarah wanted me to sleep in the nude, but the giraffes keep the bed bugs away.
But as the case with life in show business, Matty began feeling the ups and downs of a road known for a bumpy ride.
Second time I went up, I did awesome. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought it was easy. Third time I went up, crowd totally hated me and I bombed completely, and I was like, wow, I have a lot to learn, I have a long way to go.
In the meantime, Matty insists he'll use every asset he has to make it as a comic, even if it means making fun of himself.
I'm very fortunate the way I look makes my jokes that much funnier.
When you look like this, you're going to be either two things. You're going to be either really smart or you're going to be really special. Like a guy who looks like me, he's either going to find a cure for cancer or he's going to really love the taste of paste.
But that's what makes me funny, the way I look and head. I say, this is my life. It's not perfect, but I can laugh about it. And you guys can laugh about it with me.